For our first story, we have my boyfriend, 21 male, pinned me down, 18 female, to show me how easy I would be to be assaulted. How do I process this? I'm an 18 female, and my boyfriend is 21 male. This happened when I was at college and has been weighing on me ever since. One night, I went out partying with some friends from my dorm. We were drinking and smoking a bit, just enjoying ourselves. My boyfriend wanted to come, but I told him I wanted to spend time with my own set of friends. While we were out, he showed up. I talked to him briefly, and he asked me to come back to his apartment when we were done. I told him I'd let him know because we were planning to stay out longer. Eventually, we got food and decided to head back to my dorm. I texted him to let him know, and he got angry. He started blowing up my phone, calling repeatedly. I ignored him at first, but then he showed up outside my dorm in his car and demanded I come with him. I didn't want to cause a scene, so I went with him. In the car, he started lecturing me, yelling that I had put myself in danger by being out and that one of the guys at the party could have hurt me. I was crying, trying to tell him I was fine and nothing had happened, but he just kept going. When we got to his apartment, he threw my ring across the room and kept yelling. Then, out of nowhere, he pinned me down on his bed, face down, holding my arms. He told me he was showing me how easy it would be to be assaulted. I was crying and couldn't move. He let go eventually, but he acted like nothing had happened. I was left sobbing to myself, and he didn't even try to comfort me. We just went to sleep afterward. What he did when we got back to his apartment has left me feeling scared and confused. I don't know how to process this. Do I leave him or is this something I can move past? That's the end of our first post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, "Don't stay with him, it will lead to worse. If he scares you like that, that's bad. A man is meant to protect someone he loves, not terrify them. Run. Call the cops if he comes back and tell them everything. Block his number. Tell your family quickly. No one deserves to go through this." Our second commenter says, "Leave him. He didn't show you what it's like to be assaulted, he assaulted you. Period. He will do way worse if you stay with him. He showed you his true colors, what will be next?" Our third commenter says, "You leave him. He's being abusive and controlling. This is the start, but it doesn't stop here. He will get worse. He will escalate. At first he will do so under the guise of showing you what kinds of things could happen to you. Eventually it will be that you made him do things. It has nothing to do with you, and everything to do with him being abusive and seeing you as a thing he owns and controls. The only person who was a danger to you that night was him." For our second story, we have Mike, 26 male, girlfriends, 26 female, sister, 24 female, is saying I am a creep for being in her daughter's bed. How do I resolve this? Me and my girlfriend have been together for a year now. I am very close with her family and get on well with them all. My girlfriend has always said that I am great with her niece. I am always playing with her and giving her attention. Every time I am not around, her niece is asking where I am. My girlfriend's niece is 3. Last time I was at their house, her niece took me to her room and put me on her bed as she wanted to pretend I was in jail and that the bed was the jail. Her niece wasn't even on the bed with me as she stood next to the bed to stand guard and make sure I didn't escape the jail. My girlfriend's sister knew about this at the time and said nothing. But today during an argument with her sister, my girlfriend, she brought it up saying that it was creepy to go in her bed and that she hates me. I don't know the etiquette on this, so I don't know if what I did was actually wrong, or if she is just nitpicking as she and my girlfriend are arguing, because like I said, she knew about it already but has only just brought it up now. That's the end of our second post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, "Just make sure anytime you're around the child, that you stay in the main room where other people are. Sounds like the sister is setting you up for something." Our second commenter says, "Yes, that's BS. You did nothing wrong besides for whatever you got thrown in jail for." Our third commenter says, "It sounds like your GF's sister is just extremely immature, and threw that out there because she was losing an argument, and wanted to hit her sister below the belt. That being said, she has also shown her true colors, so I'd strongly advise that you don't interact or see her sister unless absolutely necessary, and that you ensure you are never again left alone in a room with her niece." For our last story, we have My 36 male husband, 31 female, wants me to be okay with inviting ex-wife to Christmas. How do I navigate this? I got married a few months ago to a man with 3 sons. I am struggling with finding where I fit in his life and family. We have been having problems because I feel as though he has no boundaries with his ex. I so badly want to have a family of my own that is not overshadowed by the life he created with his ex. She is involved in the kids' life in a great way. I am struggling due to the fact that his family has begun inviting her to the holidays. The first year we were dating, she was not invited to any of the holidays, Easter, Thanksgiving, Christmas, etc. But this year she was invited to Thanksgiving and now Christmas that we are having with his family. At Thanksgiving, I felt very overshadowed and I feel as though I cannot integrate into his family due to her constantly trying to be the center of attention. She is best friends with husband's sister-in-law and they very much leave me out. Sister-in-law has always been cold towards me. At the beginning of our relationship, I thought it was due to her just being quiet-natured, so I took no offense. I thought it was her personality, but now as I have watched things unfold, I think it is due to her not wanting me to be part of the family versus wishing ex was still with my husband. At Thanksgiving, it was very hard watching the two set up for the festivities and cook together. I told my husband before the holiday that I did not want to celebrate our holidays with her if we have the children. I see no point. I told him I was fine with her being invited if she had the kids because I would never want to deny him of seeing his kids on the holidays. He said that he cannot tell his family members, sister-in-law and mom, not to invite her to things. I told him that I do not feel as though he is standing up for our relationship and for the decision that we made to be husband and wife. She makes me uncomfortable because she tried her hardest to sabotage our relationship in the beginning and said very upsetting things to me. I tried to move past that, but an event happened where she invited me to dinner and I agreed because I wanted to be friends, but when I was walking out of the door to meet her, she texted me and uninvited me and said she was going with friends instead. This really hurt my feelings on a deep level, mainly because I was truly looking for a friendship with her and I felt rejected. I also think that I feel uncomfortable around her because my husband never stood up for me. Every time I had an issue, he would say that I can either accept the situation or he would leave me. So combined with the feelings that my husband won't stand up to her, won't tell his family to stop inviting her to holidays, and his sister-in-law and ex leaving me out, I really do not want to spend holidays with her when we have the kids. His mom has invited her to celebrate Christmas Day with us. We already have custody of kids this Christmas, so regardless whether she comes or not, we will see the kids. I told my husband many times before she was invited that I wanted him to have a conversation with his family that he and I needed to celebrate holidays without her for a bit, not even saying forever, so that I can integrate into their family and build relationships with them because right now I feel like an outsider to a family. We were recently married, and I just want to be in the newlywed phase and carefree and not uncomfortable at every holiday. I am sure I will feel more comfortable once I establish my own relationships with his family. Husband said that he would absolutely not ask any of his family members to put a hold on inviting ex-wife for a little while until I can bond with his family. There was another instance where his mom planned a family dinner, with all his siblings invited along with his ex-wife. I was invited, but she knew that I had to work. The fact that he had a family dinner with his ex and family while I was away working disgusts me. This is making me question our future. For some reason it feels like a huge betrayal. I do not want to spend my life in the shadow of another woman. TLDR. Husband want stand up to family and tell them that I am uncomfortable spending every holiday with ex. That's the end of our last post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, read this and your previous responses about this. She cheated but seems like he and his family forgave and are willing to take her back. He's not standing up for you or your relationship and is even willing to leave you over this. Every time I had an issue, he would say that I can either accept the situation or he would leave me. You are financially capable of taking care of yourself. 31. So have enough time to meet and love someone that loves, values and prioritize you back. Cause. Thus ain't it. Leave him to his cheating ex. Don't live in regret like he's doing. Our second commenter says, I hate to say this but, the only reason you are there is so he can show her he can pull someone else. He isn't standing up for you because your presence isn't there for making him happy, it is to rub her nose in it. I'm sorry OP, pick up your dignity and leave this man. He isn't worth it. You deserve to be more than a temporary placeholder until the scorned man decides to drop you for his ex. Our third commenter says, I mean you shouldn't have married him in the first place tbh. This won't get better even if he speaks to his family because he clearly doesn't care and neither do they. That's all for today. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.